Hallo und herzlich willkommen zur Adventure-Treff Show. Heute mit dabei Neuigkeiten zu A Stitch in Time, Life is Strange und Shardlight, die große Adventure-Treff Party und ein Interview mit Contradiction Entwickler Tim Follin. Das vielgelobte Adventure A Stitch in Time ist ab sofort kostenlos verfügbar. Außerdem gibt es jetzt eine vollständige Sprachausgabe. A Stitch in Time ist der Nachfolger zum Fan-Adventure What Makes You Tick von Matthias Kempke. Das ist auch der kreative Kopf hinter The Night of the Rabbit von Daedalic. Und für die arbeitet er auch weiter. Aktuell sitzt er an einem Ken Follett Adventure. Da haken wir auf der Gamescom dann natürlich nochmal nach. Um A Stitch in Time kostenlos zu bekommen, müsst ihr eine bestimmte Webseite aufrufen. Den Link gibt es in der Videobeschreibung. Wer will, kann auch einen Euro zahlen, um die Downloadkosten auszugleichen. Den Link zu unserem Testbericht zu A Stitch in Time findet ihr ebenfalls unten in der Videobeschreibung. Widget Eye Games hat neue Screenshots zu dem nächsten Spiel Shardlight veröffentlicht. In gewohnter Pixelgrafik wird es auch wieder gewohnt düster zugehen. Das Spiel dreht sich um Amy, die in einer postapokalyptischen, durch Seuchen und Hunger geplagten Welt eine Revolution unterstützt. Shardlight soll noch Ende dieses Jahres erscheinen. Im Episoden-Adventure Life is Strange könnt ihr nicht nur die Zeit zurückdrehen, ihr trefft auch dauernd schwerwiegende Entscheidungen. In einem neuen Video sprechen die Entwickler des Spiels ausführlich über die Verzweigung der Geschichte und über die Philosophie hinter Life is Strange. Außerdem ist angekündigt worden, dass die Veröffentlichung der 4. von 5 Episoden kurz bevorsteht. Autoren, Entwickler, Komponisten, Publisher und jede Menge Adventure-Fans könnt ihr auch in diesem Jahr wieder bei unserer großen Community-Party zur Gamescom in Köln treffen. Und natürlich haben wir auch wieder die ein oder andere Überraschung für euch mit dabei. Am Freitag, den 7. August, geht es ab 17 Uhr wie gewohnt in die Poller Strandbar in Köln und alle Infos zur Party findet ihr auf unserer Veranstaltungsseite bei Facebook. Der Link ist in der Beschreibung. Wir freuen uns auf euch! Schon als 14-Jähriger hat er angefangen, seinem Rechner Töne zu entlocken und später hat er für jede Menge Videospiele den Soundtrack beigesteuert. Unter anderem zusammen mit seinem Bruder für das Adventure Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade für das Nintendo Entertainment System. Jetzt ist Tim Follin unter die Adventure-Entwickler gegangen und hat mit Contradiction ein sogenanntes FMV-Adventure auf den Markt gebracht. Also ein Spiel mit echten Schauspielern und vielen Videosequenzen. Tim ist jetzt über Skype zugeschaltet. Hallo Tim!
Hello, it's very nice to be here.
Du hast ja inzwischen aufgehört, Musik für Videospiele zu machen. Warum denn?
What happened was I was doing music for various games. I think the very last thing I did was Lemmings on the PSP. I did do a piece of music about 5 years ago for as a demo for a Disney game, and I kind of came up against the Disney games machine, where it's basically you write a piece of music and then you have 5 different people telling you what's wrong with it and how you can improve it. And I just backed out straight away. I just thought, I can't write music, like that. I just really wanted to do something else,
Und dann hast du dir gedacht, ich mache jetzt Adventure-Spiele, das ist viel unaufwendiger?
What happened was, I kind of managed to get this job making TV adverts, and it was a completely different thing to writing music. Now I'm kind of a freelance director of photography. I basically just go and light scenes and try and make them look sunny usually and nice, And I also do visual effects. And of course music, I still write the odd advert tune now. But Contradiction, the adventure game, was really just a hobby. It started out as just an experiment, as something to pass the time, really, about 3 years ago now. I had the idea for it years ago, probably in the mid-90s. It was going to be an audio adventure game back then. And I just kind of remembered the idea and I thought, that probably would work, having a bit of experience with actors and that kind of thing and how to put it together visually,
Wie lange hast du denn gefilmt?
We basically had Rupert for 7 days, I think, initially. Then he had to go abroad. He went to Australia. After that, I did lots of little shots, like hands going in. It's usually, if you see a hand picking something up or something, it's usually my hand, it's not Rupert's. It's my feet as well half the time. I had to go and buy the same pair of shoes he had to do it. But then we had a few weekends where we got the actors back and we did a few more days. So I think in total it was about 11 days, 10 or 11 days shooting.
In einem News-Update zum Spiel hast du dich über Produktpiraterie beschwert. Sind denn illegale Downloads ein großes Problem für dich?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it was pirated immediately, probably within a couple of days of it going out, being released on Steam. It was already on several, I'd say mainly Russian, actually, sites that were pirating it. There are actually YouTube videos showing you exactly how to pirate it. Apparently this is kind of quite common. I don't know why, but it is quite common. It's not like it's a very costly game or anything, and yet people were quite happy to pirate it, it's kind of theft, so you kind of think, well, yeah, it's still theft no matter which way you look at it or who's producing it, especially when it's a $6.99 game that's been produced just by a few people. But on the other hand, the other argument against pirating, for pirating rather, I suppose, is that all those people that are pirating it, the chances are that probably most of them wouldn't have bought the game anyway, and they're actually spreading the word about the game by pirating it. So, it's not quite... the more you think about it, and certainly the last few days I've been thinking about it, the more you think about it, I think the more you realise that pirating is not quite the same as theft. I'm just losing potential sales, and then you get into the whole argument of whether those really are potential sales or whether they wouldn't be sales anyway. And so, yeah, I think it's really, it's a strange world, the internet, and it's an ambiguous thing, isn't it? So I'm kind of not so hung up about it right now.
Können wir denn auf eine Fortsetzung von Contradiction hoffen?
I honestly don't know. This has taken so long. I really, at this point, I don't want to do this again. I would like to make another game, but I'd like to this time to spend as long writing it, sort of thing, because the script for this was really written quite quickly as a kind of demo. And so there are many things in it that I couldn't film. I had to drop because it didn't have the budget. And a lot of the people playing it are kind of saying, we're really looking forward to the sequel so that you can tie up these loose threads. Well, I have to say, so am I. If it makes enough money, or I can get a programmer to work for free, basically, I'm quite happy to plough the cash probably back into the game, if it does sell. But as I say, if it doesn't, that's not going to happen. So we'll see.
Vielen Dank, Tim. Und das war die Adventure-Treff-Show für heute. Nächste Woche melden wir uns wieder mit einem großen Gamescom-Spezial vorab, was uns erwartet. Bis dahin, gutes Rätseln!